So I wondered if we changed the word control to power. So we felt that we were able to birth in our powers, in our choices, and not having our power taken away from us. Feeling like the most important person in the space that we're birthing in. We feel supported and we feel safe around those people and in the environment that we're birthing in. Whether we would have the ability to lose control, to give ourselves over to our body to birth our babies, and whether we could get rid of this idea of being in control. Because to me, being in control is very much being at the forefront of your mind, and that implies to me that you're not feeling 100% safe within either the birthing environment that you're in, the people that you're with, or you're not feeling like you have the choices or are being heard. So it would be really interesting to have a conversation around safety and environment, and also around power and how that shifts in the different environments and who's there, versus this kind of idea of feeling in control and managing. Because so often I'll hear stories where women feel like they'll say things like, I was doing really well, I was coping really well, and then I just kind of lost control, and then it was really hard to get the control back. But that's so normal part of birth, that unraveling, that chaos, that opening, because you're about to step into this transformation as a mother, and that raw primal part of birth where we roar and we scream and we make noise, and that's still really valid and normal part of birth. And I think sometimes with hypnobirthing, people think that we need to be kind of zen, in control, quiet, on top of our breath all the time to be hypnobirthing, and that isn't how I teach hypnobirthing. It might be how it's being taught in other places, but it's not how I teach hypnobirthing. Hypnobirthing for me is a deep understanding and deconditioning, unlearning of what we think we know about birth and what we think we know about the body and about the whole system that birth is set up in our society. And I think that my main goal as a hypnobirthing teacher is to help couples come to birth not in having, not necessarily getting rid of all their fear, but feeling more confident and more understanding that this is a normal process, and this birth is not an emergency, and it's not a medical event in most cases in its essence. Okay, that it's an inherently normal biological process, and that it's something to be celebrated and something to be, go into with some kind of level of sacredness, and try and make that birth as special as possible, because how we birth really does matter. It really does imprint on not only ourselves but also our babies. So yeah, I just wanted to start a conversation around that because I think it's really interesting, for me, coming from the other side, sometimes reading some of these stories, especially hypnobirthing stories, where there's this real idea of failing in hypnobirthing or doing hypnobirthing properly. Sometimes I'll hear people say that they have these amazing, fast, quick births, or but they were very primal and raw and loud, and they'll say, well, hypnobirthing didn't really work for me, or I didn't really do hypnobirthing. But for the very nature that they were able to relax enough to birth their baby so so primally, then to me it's like, it did work for you. You're just kind of interpreting it differently than how I would interpret. So if they've done that work of that, reading the hypnobirthing books, and if they've done the course, and if they've done the practice, and then they have this birth that doesn't look like, in their brain it's going to look like calm, serene, whale music, quiet, they think, oh, I didn't really hypnobirth. But they're missing the point, that hypnobirthing is not about this one type of birth. It is about really uncovering what birth is, really uncovering what is happening to the body, and what the sensations are going to be, and understanding too that how we go into it with our mindset in consciously creating the type of birth that we want to experience, the people we want to be around us, where we want to birth. All of those things are part of the process. It's not just the destination that's part of the hypnobirthing. I hope that makes sense, and I'd really like to hear from you if this is something that resonates with you and something you might have thought about, either from your previous experience or where you're going now, if you're pregnant again, or thinking about getting pregnant again. So it'd be lovely to hear from you. All right, I hope you're having a nice Monday. Take care. Bye.